I'm not saying that I'm a perfect person. Also, I'm not saying that you are a bad person. I'm not saying that I'm a good parent and you are a bad parent or vice versa. But when you're upset with me, when you're mad at me, every time we had problems, every time we had an issues, why you're always taking kids away? Why you always have to involve our kids into our problems? Why you have never been able to resolve problems with me? Why you always refusing to talk? Why you're always ignoring? I was confused because I thought you want me to be a great father. I thought you want me to be there in the living room. Why do they always have to follow your egos? Why do they always have to follow your selfishness? Why you always want them to hate me? Please explain to me what it is. Because my understanding was you wanted me to be willing to raise children with you. You want me to go to the ultrasound's appointment. You want me to be in the labor room twice. You wanted me to always go to see their pediatrician. You wanted me to be a great father. You wanted us sharing the equal responsibilities. But on the other hand, why are you always trying to separate me from my children? Why are you always trying to take the kids away from me? Why are you always trying to separate us from each other? Why are you always using them to punish me? Why you're always using them as a leverage? Why you're always using them as a weapon against me? And why you're always using them to hurt me? In 2017, you forced me to be willing to raise children with you. And I ended up losing my oldest child. In 2019, you forced me to marry you. I ended up lying to my own parents and decided to marry you in my genuine feelings. In April 2023, you decided to leave our marriage in very brutal ways. And you also took my children without my consent and illegally relocated to another state. I lost my oldest child. I lost my parents. You sent me to jail for the first time in my life. I don't mind. But the way you forced me to be willing to raise children versus the way you always try to separate my children from me, that's the most painful I ever had in my life.